Ready? Here we go. Get you jazzed up, man, because who can't jump out from this, right?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. I'm going to welcome you to another
Woo-hoo.
episode of Pinky's Powerhouse Productions podcast. We're working here. We have Miss Marika D. She has done so many things for us in the world. Listen, she is a wedding minister, a compliance consultant, a volunteer, and a caterer. So she's got a lot of stories to share where she's from, originally from Haiti, and she's from New York. She's got so many stories. We can't wait to dive in and get to know Marika D. Marika, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Pinky. I'm glad to be here.
We're so happy you're here. Please tell us what makes you so beautiful, girl. Come on, share a little bit about yourself with us.
I don't know. Life is wonderful. Living is wonderful.
Talk about like
Surviving is wonderful.
your dad, your story, and you coming from Haiti and New York.
Well, yeah, we
Give us a little bit about you.
well, originally I was born in Haiti. As I was telling you before, my dad used to work for the finance in well, he used to work in finance in Haiti for the government, and then he had bright idea of coming to America. And when he came here, um, he learned that his degrees and all of his experience in Haiti meant zero, and he had to start all over. He literally went from having his own home, being in a nice job, to living in a basement apartment all by himself, working as a janitor, learning English, and going back to school to get his degree in accounting and finance. And he did that for about 5 years before he was able to afford to send for me and my mom. And then my mom and I came when I was 5 years old.
Came
Yeah,
over to New York from Haiti, right?
yep. We flew in from Haiti.
So your story
Um,
starts when you were 5. Then even coming across being an immigrant, trying to learn about America, and especially with your mom and the prejudices and of the world at that time and
oh
stuff.
yeah. I mean, we were still there was a lot of prejudice that's still going on in the world. I mean, and it's still going on,
Of course,
unfortunately.
today's
You
for
know,
sure.
we've come
But
a
I'm just
long
saying
way,
things
but
that
we haven't actually
still have a
gotten
long way to
there.
go.
Yeah, exactly. Um, now we moved into a place in Brooklyn, a little tiny apartment in Brooklyn with my dad. Um, uh, Crazy as it sounds, I was in the heart of the Hasidic community, Catholic girl, all Jewish neighborhood. All my neighbors, everybody was Jewish except for me, who went to Catholic school and had to, I was a latchkey kid because both my parents had to work, and I would come home and try to learn English because back then there was no English as a second language in schools.
Were you teaching your parents too, or did
No,
they know English and
I
you were
was
learning on
teaching.
your own?
I would teach my mom too. My
Because I figured that's how
Yep,
basically most people their kids are learning, and then they're teaching their adult
yeah. My
parents the
mother
English.
was a hairdresser. So she was working in a shop that was just the Caribbeans, and Haitians. So she was able to, use her own language, to work. She spoke French, she spoke Spanish, because she's Haitian and
Mhm.
Dominican. So she was able to work, but she needed to learn, of course, the English as well. So for me, it was Lucy. Lucy taught me English. I mimic Lucy. I did the yeah boy, all of that from Lucy.
Lucy. I love Lucy. They should know this story that they taught you English. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's
honestly,
why I have like a big Lucy memorabilia collection. Um,
you grew up with her. She was your
yep,
sister.
she was the person that I came home to every day. You know, she was the one that I listened to and would laugh with and cry with, and you know, it was just me and Lucy in that apartment until my parents came home. Um, so I guess yeah, Lucy taught me how to speak English.
She wasn't your imaginary friend. She was
Yeah, she was
real.
real. I didn't know then that those shows were like 20 years old, but you know,
Well, you're not the first person to learn English by a TV program. How many people have watched MASH or to over and over again in other countries to learn
mhm.
English? So there's your one obstacle already. 5 years old. Look at
Yep,
you.
well, yeah, I had to learn it. Learned English.
So you know like five languages, right? Because of having to learn because your mom knew French and your dad was Asian, right? So how many languages do you speak?
I just speak four languages. Just that's it. I speak English. I speak French. I speak Creole. I speak Spanish. So that
Yes, I'm saying how many languages, and then you have your own language with your daughter too,
that's
like
the
or unless you're
Creole.
speaking
Yep.
Creole.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so
So je parle français.
parlez-vous
Oui,
français?
oui, je
Oui.
parle français. Vous parlez créole?
Ah, yeah, I don't know. That's
Yo
all I
hablo
know.
un poquito español.
Hablas un poquito, sí, hablas
Okay,
español,
and
sí.
I
Mucho
speak
bueno.
English. Because of work, I've had to learn, you know, a smattering here and there of Deutsch. I had to learn a little bit of Italian. But those languages, all I know is how to get food, water, and shelter.
Or baño. ¿Dónde está
Yeah,
el baño?
exactly. You know, I can say, "Where's the hotel?" That's about it. You know, funny thing with that is one of my very first audits in the as a compliance auditor for the medical device industry was they sent me to Germany. My very first audit, and I got there. I was supposed to have. I was going to this small town that was on what used to be the East German side. Very little. Nobody was speaking English. I was supposed to meet a translator there who's going to be my little guide, and they were supposed to come with me to the one factory in the town where they were going to translate for me, but they got sick.
Oh, so you couldn't do anything.
So I get there. First of all, I thought I was going to a big, you know, hotel. Nah, it was a bed and breakfast. Okay. And the guy at the front desk spoke no English. So I literally just like started throwing languages at him, you know. And,
You didn't have a cell phone then to
no,
do
there
a
was no
translator
cell
to know what
phone
you needed
then.
to say.
And finally I said something in French and he was like, and he ran off and he came back.
He's like, no, I don't know
Yeah,
that
no,
language.
he
Thank
came
you.
back with
Bye bye.
somebody who spoke French.
Oh, see?
So, I mean,
Aw.
and it was perfect because I felt like I was in an I Love Lucy episode because there's one episode in Lucy where she spoke to Ricky in English. He spoke to the guy in Spanish, who
Stupid.
translated it
Then.
to another guy in Italian, and back.
I had five
And
people.
that's how I did my audit. I took this
So you
guy with
played
yep,
adult
I took
telephone.
the guy with me, and I asked him my questions in French. He asked them in German, and I wrote the answers down in English.
But you still got the job done. So you see, you're a quick thinker on your feet. You know what I mean? So I just have to say, I know lately You have been kicking it with the compliance scene, but I know particularly the one thing I'd like to describe to you to just talk about is the things that you're going through personally, and then the things that you've overcome also too since then. Since you lived here in San Diego, and then we moved you to LA, and then since then you had some health issues. And I'd just like to talk about how strong and amazing you are because you've overcome those. And if you'd like to speak about that, because I know that's not my truth, it's yours to speak.
Well, I
Right.
one day I had a stroke, and first I had a minor one, and I was
Weren't they like days apart, or were they all on the same day? They were literally two,
they
3 days
they were
apart,
days
right?
apart. I had the small
Yeah.
one on the 9th of December, and I was actually I was online. I was in a meeting. I was talking, and no, actually, I wasn't talking for this one. I was in the meeting, and I just felt weird. And then all of a sudden, I felt like I couldn't feel my legs, and I got up, and my daughter was in a class online. She takes classes online, and I said, something's wrong, and and then I couldn't stand up. So she just rushed me to the hospital, and I was only there overnight, thank God. And they said it was a TIA. It was like a pre-stroke one, you could say. But they didn't think, and they gave me medication. They said it was my blood pressure was too high. I was under a lot of stress at the time. Um, so they sent me home with these pills. Now, working in the medical device and pharmaceutical
Pharmaceutical.
industry, I've seen too much, so I don't take pills unless somebody is like holding me down and forcing it, down my.
That's probably one of those reasons why you use marijuana instead of using those other things, because it's a healthier
Yeah, that
medication.
would be it. But I I completely. I went home. I said, okay, I'm going to take these pills, and started taking the pills. And then I about the on Christmas Day, actually, I remember joking and saying to my daughter, something's wrong, because my brain is saying to me, where's all the blood? Where's all the blood that's usually rushing around in here? I felt
Mhm.
like, there was no blood going in my brain, and I was joking, but that's really what I felt like. My brain was saying, hey, what's going on up here? Because my blood pressure, the medication they gave me, lowered my blood pressure. So um
So may also feel like you're
yeah, so
dying, sort of, or dead because you're
I
quiet.
felt like, it lowered it to the point where my blood was not where it was supposed to be. And then the very next day, on December 26th, um I was actually on a Zoom call, and I was recording a training presentation with someone. And as I was talking, they said their face looked strange, and I didn't realize it. They said, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" And I'm still talking to them, not understanding that I was talking gibberish at that point.
You were probably
Yeah,
slurring,
I
right?
was
You were
talking
talking.
just
Yeah.
plain old nonsense. And that's
The words coming out of my
yeah.
mouth.
And and again, Jesse, saw what was going on. She took me to the
She had an
hospital.
angel there. She watched over you to help you get to the
Yeah, and
hospital to get the right.
and oddly enough, I didn't realize how bad it had hit me that day until later on, when somebody had asked me after I got out of the hospital. Somebody said, well, how did it affect you that day? What? And I realized, oh wow, I don't remember. I don't remember leaving the house.
Because all the trauma
Yeah,
and
I don't
energy. Yeah.
remember getting to the hospital. I don't remember anything. I actually don't remember anything until the next day that the second day I was in the hospital. And that's when my daughter's filling me in, and she's going, well, you know, you couldn't walk. We had to carry you out of the house.
Oh,
You couldn't stand
they
up.
didn't have any mobile
Yeah,
facilities
so
or couldn't
she
walk,
said,
right?
when we got to Cedar Sinai, they ran out with a wheelchair,
The gurney.
took you in, and even they tried to talk to you, and she asked you one question. She said, I don't even know what you said to her, but whatever you said, she immediately started pressing buttons and calling people.
Because she probably been through this with another patient and says
Yeah,
very familiar. That's why the nurses, they knew what they were going on and what you were doing and what you
yeah,
needed
because
help with.
she
So
said, they told her, that I was having a stroke right there. I was in the middle of having the stroke. And it's scary because I didn't realize that I actually lost a day. I didn't know what happened.
because your body, probably you were so tired you don't remember it because the other people were running your body
Yeah,
for you
and
because you were in the
I
hospital.
later
So
found out that the joke I had made the day before about my brain saying, where's the blood, was true.
it was truth. But see, now you were doing physical therapy. You were back up and walking. Like you were literally a
Well, they kept
miracle
telling me,
because
"Oh,
of
you're not. Oh, it's going to take you like 6 months, to start doing
you're
this.
proving them all wrong.
You
Kicking ass and
you'll
taking
have,
names.
yeah." And then they're telling me, "Oh, you're gonna have to go on disability and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Man, disability? I got bills to pay." Okay.
And look, yeah, and I'm just saying amazing stuff. And then being a volunteer and helping me a lot with my fundraisers when you're in San
I
Diego,
enjoyed
being
that.
my caterer and cooking the food, which was so spicy and yummy. We always sold out of food. There was nothing left, but we didn't make enough money to continue
I
keep doing
know.
food at the
You're
fundraisers.
charge
But
enough.
you're but cooking in the kitchen with you for Haitian food, like I am blessed because I had the
Oh yeah, I
experience.
love to cook. You know that. It's my passion. I just enjoy cooking so much. I think it
Have you been able to do some of that since you've been able to get through your physical therapy and stuff? Because I
well,
know standing, like, are you pushing yourself? What are
yeah,
your,
I've
what are your plans?
like I literally started back to work while I was still in the hospital. Before I even started physical therapy, I made my daughter bring my laptop so I could work. But now I've been
And you and
doing
your daughter have a beautiful relationship. So that I described, that's a tool. And I would say not an IV, but that's a vein that you guys, you know what I mean? You guys have a strong relationship and that helps you. And from that has made you stronger to be able to be better and why you want to inspire yourself to be better because you still have to take care of your
well
daughter.
also
Right. So all of
because
these
of
things.
her strengths as well. I mean, because
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, you guys. It's an even equality of inspiration and being
yeah,
there
I
for
mean,
each
because
other.
she
So
has her
you're.
own health issues, and I've watched this girl be in severe pain where she's pushing her belly and or the area against a desk so she can get pressure on it to relieve some pain while taking an exam. And
So she's pushing through. So she's an
yeah,
inspiration as well. Like I'm just a strong,
yeah. I
empowering
mean,
women.
she
Gotta love it.
graduated with what, 3 degrees, 2 certificates, and now she's going on to
She's still,
to
she's still working for the police, and she have an internship
yep,
working for
she
the
will
police
be doing
as a
that. Yep.
co-pilot,
Yeah, she
right?
wants
Something
to
to that
work
nature.
eventually, I think, for the FBI. Um,
She's
that's her
amazing. She's
goal.
really a smart girl
Yeah.
or
But
smart woman.
again, now that she's going to be graduating again in next year, she just found out that she's going to be graduating with 2 degrees because she's taken enough classes for psychology, psychiatry, and sociology.
Well, that's gotta be
Yeah,
amazing too. Oh my
yeah,
goodness, especially for her, you know. And she's what? Got only she's only
yep.
23 or
And she's
something,
got
right?
a
She's
she's got a 4.1. Okay.
dang. See, Mama Bear, look at that. What kind of influence? So a strong woman raises strong women. So you know what I mean. To the degree of all of the stories of all the inspirational things that you can do, and that we can all overcome every little
Yep, and
story.
and so
So
she's definitely a big inspiration to me. And I always want to make sure that I'm stepping up. I'm doing what I need to do to make sure that I can help her, push her. Because, when I was in college, my parents were great, but financially they couldn't really help me, and I got married young, got divorced young, had a baby young.
realize that was a wrong decision.
Yeah.
But you got Jesse, so you
Exactly.
know what I mean. It's okay.
So
Yeah.
I was while I was going college, I had a baby to take care of, and I had three jobs. Okay.
Oh my God, 3 jobs.
Well,
Wow. Oh, so they must have been all part
I would
time,
get
right?
up early in the morning. I go to a dispatching job. I drop Jesse off either at the babysitter or at my mom's. I had a dispatching job. Actually, I worked with a dispatcher, and I would do morning wake up calls for a limo service. So I had to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
So you didn't even go out, but of course with the baby you wouldn't have
Yeah,
to. So
go out. Where was I going? Because after that job, I'd go to classes, and because I was on a scholarship, I had to keep an A average. And then after classes, I went to the hospital for special surgery. I worked there until like about 7 o'clock. And after that, I got off of work. I'd hop on the train to go back to Queens. And I made a deal with two small office buildings that were along the way to my house. I cleaned them on my way home before I'd pick up Jesse.
you were very resourceful. You had 4 different jobs and being a mom. So wow, look, you see what women can do. Powerful women in our communities and
Well,
stuff. I mean, the
I
stories.
come from a long line of powerful women.
Well, you and Jesse both make me because again, being your friends, I wanted to make sure I can that you inspire both of me because of what you have to deal with in life and how I can make sure I can step up for you in the
And you
same way.
have, I
So
mean, you've been there for us definitely. When
you're
I've
important.
needed help, we can always count on you to be there.
At least I'll pick up
Yeah,
the phone. I'll answer you.
you'll answer me, and when you can, you show up. You know,
I do my
you
best.
always
Yes,
show
once
up.
I have a running vehicle.
Yes. Now you got a. That's right. Now you got a real car.
Now I got a pimping car. Yes, yes, ma'am. The miracle
There
of
you
mom.
go. See, mom,
The
mom.
stories. I want to say thank you so much for sharing your stories with us today and how amazing that you are. I want to say thank you very much for opening yourself with us and telling your story and sharing a little bit of part of you. And I want to say thank you, Marika D, for being here with us today. Ready? And I want to let you know. Is it ready? We have the. I forgot. I didn't read the beginning, so I didn't say howdy and welcome. I just said what we're doing here. Okay. Thank you for listening and joining us. Thank you, Marika D. We're brief into. Okay, so our next guest is going to be J.M. Bueno, and she's going to rock because we are talking. We are talking. She's got so much. She's an entrepreneur. She's a businesswoman. She's a writer. She was basically studying writing books, especially for in the marijuana cannabis business, and setting examples for us to follow. If you we hope you walk away inspired to create the difference you want to see in the world. Remember to share the love, see one, do one, teach one, and lead one. You're not alone. Pinky's Powerhouse Posse grows with every new listener. Follow us on Instagram and subscribe to YouTube. Now, the questions we have, the last question I have for you, Miss Marika, is where are we going to see you next? Tell us where we can follow you, where we can see you more.
Well,
Besides, I
I
know that
am in the
you're going to have a following after this.
well,
So
I will share a website with you in the next couple of
what's your ministry?
weeks.
What is it? Yeah.
I'm actually in the process of starting Exquisite Love Gifts, which will be an online shop.
See, you're gonna have 5 businesses, girl. You're gonna slay, slay, slay.
It's an online shop where it'll be gifts of love, gifts for weddings, gifts for wedding parties. It will all be linked into with my wedding services. I do weddings for everybody. I've done some doozy weddings, let me tell you. That's another story we'll talk about next
A whole
time.
nother episode,
A
right?
whole other episode.
Oh, we'll have to have
People,
you come back. We'll do some more because we always want to know more. But if
yeah,
you're seeing the positive impacts that we can make, just doesn't matter if life hits you in the gut. Sometimes you're going to be out of the breath. Sometimes you're going to be like, damn it. And you're just going to get up and go, I'm going to fight that much harder. So all I'm
you
trying
have
to do
to.
here is inspire people that you can do one little thing in the world. If it's one thing, you can say hello to somebody you haven't talked to in a long time and text them. You can start just checking in on the senior citizens in your neighborhood. You can start a canned food drive. There are simple things that you can do. And then from there, you can inspire others. So I'm hoping that from sharing these podcasts, that I want to share the love with the world, that we can see the world in a different way if we all power up together.
Sounds great.
I'll see
Thank
you on
you
the next
very
video.
much.
You watch on YouTube and or subscribe on Instagram, and hopefully I can't wait so you can watch our next episodes. I can't wait to release this one, but thank you very much. Rock and roll, everybody. And
Bye.
okay, we're done.